Apex Legends is getting in the spooky spirit with the new Fight or Fright Halloween themed event instead of going for the obvious false advertising trick or treat, because there's always only the former and never the latter in video games nowadays. But it starts today and ends in 3 weeks on Tuesday, November the 5th. That's of the collection variety, which essentially means it's the least consumer friendly kind due to the inclusion of the event specific Apex packs that can be purchased for 700 Apex coins. But because of the bad backlash situation that happened with the last Iron Crown event, you can now directly purchase individual items that are limited time for the fear of missing out psychological tactic to get you to fork over your real money in the form of 1,800 Apex coins for legendary items or 1,000 for epic, or you can actually now craft them for 2,400 or 800 materials respectively. There's 24 different Fight or Fright specific items, and if you're able to grab all of them, you will earn the Lifeline heirloom set consisting of her shock sticks, or if you're racist, the steel drumsticks for Jamin Mon. Other than having Pathfinder saying savage but funny lines during the reveal trailer, Respawn is hoping to avoid another monetization controversy by making some changes from the last collection event by putting non-collection items in the Fight or Fright pack, so that this way you can earn more beepity bops instead of having the audacity to charge people 3,500 Apex coins for the Bloodhound heirloom set after spending nearly $150 to unlock all of the items from buying individual packs. However, the Lifeline heirloom set is given out for free once you obtain all 24 items, plus items can be crafted with materials that you can get by just playing the game, so it's still a whaling trip that deserves criticism, but this time it's not as egregious filbin as the last go-round. The main change to the game is that the developers heard the feedback about bringing the original map back, as well as the solos game mode, and Respawn did both, but not in the way that anybody wanted it. Shadowfall is the new limited time game mode for the collection event, and it takes place on Kings Canyon, but a nighttime variant of the map because everybody loves being Stevie Wonder and not being able to see shit, and it's a solo game mode, but this time with a zombie-esque twist. It starts with a paltry 35 players, but when 25 of them die, they're then respawned as part of the Shadow Squad, with the remaining 10 players as survivors teaming up to get on board of the recycled asset from Titanfall evac ship to victory. Even though Respawn said that they're going to be doing less frequent updates with more testing behind them, they seem to have dropped the ball in this department, because early complaints on Reddit are about players that will eventually be part of the Shadow Squad leaving prior to the last 10 alive, considering that most of the challenges involve being a legend, which isn't going to happen once you die, and besides, who wants to sit around waiting anyways? But conversely, how ridiculously easy it is for the zombies to just camp the evac ship with the Bloodhound-esque thermal vision and two-hit kill melee ability. I guess they did this to really piss off those twat waffles on the forum calling for a punching nerf. Speaking of nerfs, the developers talked about giving one of the charge rifle, plus fixing up some crypto drone exploits, and showed off on a developer stream a new firing range that is a better version of the training mode where you could change your legend on the fly and are able to use all the weapons and attachments on the new character model dummies, and even drag your party in with you to work on synergies between abilities. Hey, that rhymes. But looking at the Trello board, that's coming soon in a future update, which was fun for someone like me waiting around for patch notes to finish up this script, because hey, regurgitating reading into video form is how tons of YouTubers make their money. However, that doesn't mean that there isn't more to talk about with regards to data mines and leaks. The trailer not only showed off all of the new things to play dress up with in an FPS, but the first real tease of an upcoming legend called Revenant, as the narrator ringleader of the new mode, who was first accidentally put on display by a level designer's tweet, but can be clearly seen both in the video and in the backdrop of the thumbnail for the video itself. We already know that this legend is purportedly to have two different forms or stances. First is the regular stance, a passive called Infiltrator to climb walls higher and crouch walk faster, then 3 different abilities, but it's unclear which ones are the tacticals and which one is the ultimate, with Mark for Death that fires a poison dagger at an enemy, and if you press it again, it will reveal the target's location for up to 60 seconds, but if the target heals to full health, then the mark gets removed. A poison bomb that sounds eerily similar to Caustic's gas ultimate, and Death Recall to drop a totem that will protect anyone who uses it from death, and if you end up getting killed or downed, you'll return to that totem, but with 20 health. It's unclear how players other than Revenant uses it though. Then there's a Shadow stance with a different set of abilities for the same character, although the passive remains the same. Tactical 1 is Shadow Walk, that is dead silence with increased walking speed for 6 seconds, or Tactical 2 is Shadow Step to send out a Shadow Revenant, similar to Mirage's Bamboozle, and if you press the button again, you'll actually teleport to that shadow, with both having the cooldown resetting on a kill, with the ultimate called Shadow Door that will create a doorway through walls lasting 5 seconds, almost like a Wraith portal, get in and out of buildings, because who the fuck needs doors that can be kicked in like Biggie said. But that's not the end of the new Legend 411, as formerly called Rosie in game files is now called Loba, Alpha to get a checkmark on the diversity inclusion list, but she is a translocating thief, and her abilities include Eye for Quality, being able to see through walls for loot, and being able to open up hidden compartments on bins, which I'm assuming will get you even more shit that you can ignore. Then is Supply for Demand, hold a button to choose the type of loot and reveal that type of loot in the area through walls, which seems like a shittier version of the previous one. Burglar's Best Friend to throw a disc and teleport to that location, which seems like the Shadow Step ability, but more powerful since you could throw further than you could run. And Black Market Boutique to place a device that could steal all of the nearby loot like a vacuum cleaner for crap. Nomad is another legend also involved with looting, having a passive of Pack Mule that grants him and his teammates additional backpack space, a tactical of Loot Compass, which says follow the loot compass to the nearest item, but it's unclear if that's a future supply drop location or just weeding out all of the terrible items to troll you with a Mozambique, and an ultimate of Crafting Table that reads, place a crafting table down, scrap salvageable material, and purchase items, which sounds like something you do in the main menu for cosmetics, but I'm guessing it'll be similar to Fortnite's new feature where one man's trash is another man's treasure, and you could destroy multiple items for something decent. That'll also solve the looting problem on World's Edge. There's also Rampart that seems more like Rambo, which actually seems to be next on the leaked developer sheet in Development Alpha. That does not include Nomad in spite of the files being further along for that legend, but abilities include the probable passive LMGs, increased magazine capacity, and faster reloads. My friend Maxim to place down a mounted machine gun that anyone in the squad can use, provided that you have the heavy ammo to do so. Amped Cover to build a cover that provides a damage boost to anyone standing near it, similar to an AWOL in Titanfall, but this one can actually be moved around. And Fixer that uses a wrench instead of melee to repair those structures, which is probably another passive. Also in Design Alpha is Valk with a passive of Afterburners. Valk and her teammates fly faster while skydiving, except on the initial drop. Tactical VTOL Jets, which reads hold button to hover VTOL Jet, whatever the fuck that means. And Ultimate is Skyward. Valk and her nearby allies take to the skies after a short cooldown, so maybe this character was sexually abused by R. Kelly and now actually believes she can fly. Then in the future character section is Blisk from the Titanfall games, having a passive of Interrogation. Executing an enemy will reveal the location of their allies for 10 seconds. A tactical of Throwing Knife, dealing 20 damage and marking the target. Killing any marked target rewards double the credits, which I guess will be good for those freeloaders out there. And the ultimate Payday squad kills award credits to then spend credits on powerful supplies, which seems similar to that crafting bench idea from Nomad. A legend without even a semblance of concept art is Downfall, but has a backstory, a pyromaniac, with a passive of Burning Anger, dealing damage Bill's Rage, and filling that rage meter makes you immune to fire for 20 seconds, good if you have trouble with the lava areas on the new map. A tactical of Fire Sale, dropping a box of 4 Molotovs that anybody in the squad can pick up and throw, yay Thermite on demand, and ultimate of Rain of Fire, which allows you to call in a cascade of incendiary rockets, which sounds like Bangalore and Gibraltar's ultimates with even more annoyance. There are other legend ability leaks, and considering that they're not even close to the test phase, I'd normally ignore them, but I want to stretch out this video to longer than 10 minutes to get that hashtag YouTube money. There's Immortal, a pilot-esque healing legend with a passive of Hard to Kill that is essentially the Gold Shield self-revive. Tactical of Shield Charger to unleash a cloud of nanites to charge your team's shield, or Shield Teardown that does the reverse to enemies, and ultimate of Rise of the Phoenix, restoring your health and shields to full, while also giving nearby teammates 30 seconds of self-revive with an 8-second charge time. Next is Jericho, aka the Frontline, so he might be a thick boy like Gibby and Caustic, having a passive of Ballistic Shield Protection. That shield protects your back when you're not actively using it. The tactical ability allows you to bring said shield to the front to protect you from incoming fire, and the ultimate of Javelin to throw 2 electrically charged javelins that burn through enemy body shields. A Watson-esque defensive legend called Scunner as a crafty trapper, having a passive of Light Step where you're not slowed by debris traps and don't leave traversal evidence for trackers. A tactical which is said Debris Trap, allowing you to drop a pile of debris that slows and damage enemies when they move through it, kind of like an Arc Star Set and Forget item. And the ultimate Shiltrum Barrier Grenade to create a spike barrier that sounds like a trap from Fortnite. Husaria, the Hard Breacher, has a passive of Shotgun Kick, which is a shotgun that's on your body that will discharge when you melee doors or enemies while using shotgun ammo. That sounds insane to be able to hit 2 different enemies with 1 punch. A Flashbang tactical that is exactly what it sounds like, and the ultimate of a Concussive Breaching Charge, which can be planted firing off a sonic wave through walls to destroy traps, open doors, and disorient enemies. Prophet or Seer is a sniping specialist with a passive Sniper Training, increased accuracy while aiming down sight, and starting off the game with a scope in your inventory. Tactical of Spotter Sight that scans the environment for enemies and gathers info on targets found, probably similar to Bloodhounds, and an an ultimate of triple tap that allows you to bring out a silent sniper rifle with 3 shots in it. If you're curious about the assets like character models for some of these leaks, as always, my sources are down in the description. Lastly, in leaks, if you're already sick of this event, the upcoming ones have been revealed to be a Mirage Town takeover sometime in November, similar to the Octane and Wraith events, a winter/Christmas themed collection event in December and January with a Bloodhound takeover later that January, early February, though we kind of already had the legendary hunt that focused on him, her, it, whatever the fuck it wants to be called. Also, according to that roadmap that they've been constantly laid on, we should be getting Season 4 by the end of the year. However, I could also see that being delayed into January or beyond, depending upon how late the Bloodhound event is, even though they could stretch this season out longer with the new map. After completely botching the momentum and all of the hype that this game built up when it launched way back in February, and it kind of drowned out for 2 months without any meaningful updates, it seems that Respawn is finally hitting their stride with this game. Anyways, what do you think of the new Apex Legends Halloween themed event coming with the obligatory infected game mode variant and the new legends that I discussed? Let me know in the comment section down below. I've been the Schwantz27, off like an after event wedding dress. Until next time.